Good morning. So, many of you know of my time games: football time, basketball time, racing time, hockey time. I have completed football time update, football time second edition. Um, it is completely compatible with football time and football time complete. um, However, I have tweaked a couple of things, mostly the scoring charts, and I've added support for the Canadian Football League. Um, Following this, I will be releasing some historical season sets for the Canadian League and the American League, etc. I've simplified uh, the team grades. That's personal. You don't have to. You can continue to use the quarter grades and all that stuff for your teams. But when I do historical teams, there's not always the data available to accurately do scores by quarter. Um, so I'm just going to do offense and defense. So this is available free. You can download this from the Google Drive. I'll put the link below. You can grab this. It's just 5-page document. You can make your own teams by choice. You can actually roll your teams up randomly, or you can use some of the historical teams that I will be making available. You can also rate your own, of course. Yeah. So very simple to create teams randomly. Boom, boom. Our team now looks like this: Los Angeles Express, offense C, defense B. That's it. It's that simple. No more first quarter, second quarter, third quarter overtime, because I just don't have all that data available to make historical teams for every season and at least not reliable data. Then you check your matchup chart before every game. Again, these are how the time games work. So let's say I am the 84 49ers with an A offense, and I'm facing the worst team in football defensively. Let's say they're an F. We are an A for the upcoming game. Let's say that team that we're facing is a C against the 49ers. B defense. They would be a D. So 49ers would be an A on the scoring charts. Their opponent would be a D on the scoring charts. And again, you roll every possession. You roll the time the possession takes, and you roll what occurs on the drive. Scoring charts now have an AA rating, and there is now a Z rating for really, really bad offenses against really good defenses. So this would be something like, the best. Like this would be something like Pittsburgh 75 Pittsburgh against the absolute worst defense in football, F-rated offense, versus say the 75 Steelers. There would be a Z for the game. Rare. There is no AA. AA comes from a short field. So now when there's any turnover, teams get to boost their rating one. I think that this is also in the original rules, except there was no AA on the chart. So now San Francisco, that same San Fran team against that bad team, let's say the other team fumbled the ball away on their last possession, San Fran would get to use the AA chart for this drive. And the odds that they're going to score are clearly 100%. So you now just make a simple die roll for whether it's a run score or a pass score. A turnover now, very simply, you just roll to see if it's picked off or fumble lost. And field goals now aren't automatic. You've got to roll just to see if it's a good field goal or a missed field goal. This, of course, leads to the Canadian football chart, where there can be scored a touchdown, a chance at a field goal, or a single, or they just absolutely missed the field goal and scored a single. The other team couldn't get the ball out of the end zone. So we have singles on here, as well as still a field goal chance. And that their field goal chance can still result in a single, right? Still, 1 through 3 run pass. Again, this can be based on the actual style of the league. So if the Canadian Football League throws a lot more touchdown passes, just skew that. You can just change these. Interceptions might be higher in Canadian football. Again, I don't have all the data for Canadian football, historical data that I have for Pro Football Data. I know the absolute percentages for interceptions in the history of the game and fumbles in the history of the game. So, but again, this is a broad set of data on just a handful of results. It is meant to be a possession by possession, quick play game with the ebb and flow of football. Again, I use a 1 to 6 minutes. So the first die roll you make is how long the drive's taken, and then you roll to see what happened on the drive. So I roll a 5, 6. Well, San Francisco eats 5 minutes and they score a field goal. I roll again. I roll a 5. Yep, field goal. So San Fran's first drive of the game is 5 minutes off 15. So they're down at the 10-minute mark. San Fran gets a field goal. Now the other team takes over. I give a complete example of a game here between a fictional LA Express and Milwaukee Trappers. I literally use the rankings as I describe up here, how you find out the matchup rating. I use those exact ratings and I walk you through every snap of the game. When that's done, I then show you how you can derive team leaders in statistics, and then I show you how you can further determine the remainder of the starters' results based on a formula. So there you have it. That's it. And then the final page is just the last page. It just reminds you that all rights are reserved. So when you print it out, you have a back page. No cover. I'm not big on covers. Feel free to, when you print this out, make your own covers. Anyway, this is, of course, free, as most of my games are. But I wanted to share this because I've made some tweaks to the... I wanted to tighten up the ideas a little bit. I really wanted to increase the range on the charts a tiny bit. And more importantly, I wanted to add that AA. And then simplify these results here. And then, of course, we make rolls to further identify. And then, of course, part of the reason I wanted to do this was to get to a Canadian Football League version. So I wanted all these to be tightened up so we could then get that Canadian version in here. So there you have it. And again, it's free. Just print and play, download and go. I'll put a link to the drive below. I am also going to retype. I'm going to tighten up my football time racing rules. Try to rewrite those. Again, I'm not a great technical writer. I don't write traditional rules like a rule book necessarily. So you have to read them, and one of the reasons I do that is it does force you to read the rules. It kind of forces you to read maybe twice, so hopefully that helps. The games, though, are, once you've played them and you've got them down, there's nothing confusing about them. It's just, and I'm always available to answer questions via comments on these channels. I mean, on my videos or email. You can always click, you can find my email in the YouTube channel, by the way. You just got to look under information and you'll find my email, and you can always email me to ask questions, etc. So keep your eyes out. I'm going to be putting out probably one season from every decade, starting with 1970 for Canadian football, and I'll be putting out a season for pro football history starting with 1970. So I'm going to try to have 5 or 6 decades of both represented, although there'll just be one season. So it might be the 1971 Canada, 1986 Canada, 1995 Canada, 2006, whatever. There'll be one season made available. And rating these are just not difficult to do. Maybe in the future I'll do a video on how quickly you can grade a team's offense and team's defense, and you're good to go. It's super simple, and it's based solely on scoring. So all you need to know is team's total points against, and you can rank your grades. It's very simple. So there's no mystery, considering this is just about trying to score per possession, right? Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope everybody out there is having a joy with your tabletop sports gaming.